Jadira karuna bale jagate pachara. Sainama parayan sadhu mahajan. Tadera nindana koriya karachana. Rajandarandan Krishna Saveshwara Maheshwara Aditara Sevanata Para Nama Chintamani Krishna Chaitanya Sarupa Veda Gyana Nakori Lila Guna Rupa Guru Krishna Rupa Han Shastra Pamane Guru Rupa Krishna Kripa Kore Bhagyavane Se Guru Te Macha Buri Avanyadi Chaji Ishtalabha Koroni Lantala Namavati Shruti Shruti Mata Sahasrata Purana Srinamacharana Padma Kore Nirajana Say Shruti Shastra Deva Koraya Nidana Seya Paradira Sangha Korive Vajana Namira Mahima Sava Shastra Teva Kane Atishtuti Heno Kabu Nabavi Amane Adasya Nanta Brahma Shivarita Tala Jena Mama Himagata Sankitana Rata Sena Mama Hima Sindhu Kepai Bepada Atishruti Bole Jai Sedurachara Krishna Nama Bole Nicha Golokela Dana Kapita Pakita Bhave Aparadijana Name Sada Papakshai Save Shastrikai Saladina Papa Kori Seva Shai Emata Duborija Seya Paradi Pravanchita Dukkha Bunde Niravadi Atuya Shri Krishna Nam Punarasa Nidhi Tarasama Nabhaviya Shubha Kama Adi Namesha Dahina Jana Virata Vanchita Harinama Danya Parada Sunishchita Shuniya Kṛṣṇa Mahatya Pada De Pratira Hita Se Naradamachara Antama Mataja Antare Bahire Krishna Namatara Kavuna Hispure Casting off these 10 offenses, leaving no exception. Those few souls who chant the name in holy congregation. The miracle of love for Krishna they will surely savor. The name divine himself will shine within their hearts forever.
Buongiorno. Good morning. Welcome again to our beautiful morning program here in London, with all the wonderful devotees here and with you there, and very happily here in such wonderful association to read from the Sri Caitanya-caritāmṛta, and we're beginning a new chapter today, so we're excited about that. Chapter 2 of the Madhya-līlā, where Kavirāja Gosvāmī is going to continue giving us some synopsis of what he's going to talk about later. And Jai Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai, and a beautiful garland for Gurudev. So text 1 of the second chapter of the Madhya-līlā. And Srila Prabhupada has named this chapter the Ecstatic Manifestations of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahāprabhu. Because in the original, they don't have names, the chapters. They're just one after the other, but Srila Prabhupada gave them names. So give us some clue as to what is contained in this particular chapter. Okay. Vichidesmin Prabhu Antya Lila Sutra Nuvanane Ghaurasya Kṛṣṇa Vicheda Pralapadyanuvanyate. So he says, while relating in synopsis form the last division of the pastimes of Mahāprabhu, in this chapter I shall describe the Lord's transcendental ecstasy, which appears like madness due to his separation from Kṛṣṇa. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Yeah, we forgot to do that this morning. But anyway, Kṛṣṇa's Kavirāja reminded us. Shesha Jaya Rahila Prabhuda Dvadasa Vatsara Kṛṣṇa Yoga Spurti Haya Nirantara. And during his last 12 years, Sri Chaitanya Mahāprabhu always manifested. Jai! Gaurasundar has just appeared before us, giving some Jai, looking beautiful, the beautiful purple garland. Wow. Says Kelly. Wow, yes, wow. During his last 12 years, Mahāprabhu always manifested all the symptoms of ecstasy in separation from Kṛṣṇa. Shri Radhikara Chestajena Udava Dashane Emata Dasa Prabhuda Haya Ratri Dine. Mahaprabhu's state of mind, day and night, was practically identical to Radharani's state of mind when Uddhava came to Vrindavan to see the gopis. Nirantara Haya Prabhuda Viraha Unmada Ramamaya Chesta Sada Pralapa Maya Vada. Pralapa Maya, full of delirium. The Lord constantly exhibited a state of mind reflecting the madness of separation. All his activities were based on forgetfulness, and his talks were always based on madness. Hare Krishna, Roma Kupe Raktogame Dante Savahale Kshane Anga Kshinahoy Kshane Anga Fule. Blood flowed from the pores of his body, and all his teeth were loosened. At one moment his whole body became slender, and at another moment his whole body became fat. Gambira bitare rache nahi nidralava bitamukha shira gashe kshata hoyasava. The small room behind the corridor is called the Gambira. Mahaprabhu used to stay in that room, but he did not sleep for a moment. All night he used to grind his mouth and head on the wall, and his face sustained injuries all over. Tina dvare kapata Prabhu jajena bahire, kabu singadvara padi kabu sindunire. Although the 3 doors of the house were always closed, the Lord would nonetheless go out, and sometimes would be found at the Jagannath temple before the gate known as Singadvara, and sometimes the Lord would fall flat into the sea. Chataka parvata deki govardhana brahme, dana chale artanada kariya krandane. Mahāprabhu would also run very fast across the sand dunes, mistaking them for Govardhan. As he ran, he would wail and cry loudly. Upavano dhyana deki vrindavana gyan, tanjay nache gai kshane mucha han. Sometimes Mahāprabhu mistook the small parks of the city for Vrindavan. Sometimes he would go there, dance and chant, and sometimes fall unconscious in spiritual ecstasy. Kanai shunije bhavara vikara, seva vahaya prabhuda sharira prachara. The extraordinary transformations of the body due to transcendental feelings would never have been possible for anyone but the Lord, in whose body all transformations were manifest. Hare Krishna, hasta parera sandhi sabha vitasti pramane, sande chari bina hoy charma rahishtane. The joints of his hands and legs would sometimes become separated by 8 inches, and they remained connected only by the skin. Hastapada shira sava sharira bitare, pravishta hoy kurma rupa dekhiya prabhure. Sometimes Mahāprabhu's hands, legs and head would all enter within his body, just like the withdrawn limbs of a tortoise. Emata adbhuta bhava sharira prakasha, manate shunyata vakya ha ha hutasha. In this way, Mahāprabhu used to manifest wonderful ecstatic symptoms. His mind appeared vacant, and there were only hopelessness and disappointment in his words. Kamura prananatha mura livadan kankoan kampan brajanjanandana. Mahāprabhu used to express his mind in this way: where is the Lord of my life, who is playing his flute? What shall I do now? Where should I go to find the son of Maharaj Nanda? Kare kahive keva jane mora duka brajanjanandana vino pate mora buka. To whom should I speak? Who can understand my disappointment? Without the son of Nanda Maharaj, my heart is broken. E mata vilapa kari vivala antara, rayara nataka shloka pare nirantara. In this way, Mahāprabhu always expressed bewilderment and lamented in separation from Kṛṣṇa. At such times, he used to recite the shlokas from Ramananda Rai's drama known as Jagannath Vallabha Nataka. Prema chadaruja vagacchati hari nayam na cha premava stana stana mavaiti napa madano janati no dulaba anyo vedana chanya dukkha makilam no jivanamat vashravam tvaichanyeva dinani yauvanamidam ha ha vidake kagati. Srimati Radharani used to lament, our Krishna does not realize what we have suffered from injuries inflicted in the course of loving affairs. We are actually misused by love, because love does not know where to strike and where not to strike. Even Cupid does not know of our very much weakened condition. What should I tell anyone? No one can understand another's difficulties. Our life is not actually under our control, for youth will remain for 2 or 3 days and soon be finished. Is this condition, O Creator, what will be our destination? Upajila premankura bangila yek dukkha pura Kṛṣṇa tahanahi karapan bahira nagara raja britare satera kaja paranari vade savadan. Srimati Radharani spoke thus in distress due to separation from Kṛṣṇa. She said, "Oh, what shall I say of my distress? After I met Kṛṣṇa, my loving propensities sprouted. But after separating from him, I sustained a great shock, which is now continuing like the sufferings of a disease. The only physician for this disease is Kṛṣṇa himself, but he is not taking care of this sprouting plant of devotional service. What can I say about the behavior of Kṛṣṇa? Outwardly, he is a very attractive young lover, but at heart, he is a great cheat, very expert in killing others' wives. Shakhi na bujia vidira vidana, shukhalagi kailom prita, haila dukkha viparita, ebijai narahi paran. She continued lamenting about the consequences of loving Kṛṣṇa. My dear friend, I do not understand the regulative principles given by the Creator. I loved Kṛṣṇa for happiness, but the result was just the opposite. I am now in an ocean of distress. It must be that I am now going to die, for my vital force no longer remains. This is my state of mind. Kutila prema agayan nahi jane shtanashtan balamanda nare vicharite krura shatara gunadore hategala bhandi more rakyache nari ukashite. By nature, loving affairs are very crooked. They are not entered with sufficient knowledge, nor do they consider whether a place is suitable or not, nor do they look forward to the results. By the ropes of his good qualities, Kṛṣṇa, who is so unkind, has bound my neck and hands, and I am unable to get relief. Jai madana tanuhina, parajoy paravina, panchabhana shande anukshan, avalara sharire, vidikaila jara jare, dukkha deya nalaya jivana. In my loving affairs there is a person named Madan. His qualities are thus: Personally, he possesses no gross body, yet he is very expert in giving pains to others. He has 5 arrows, and fixing them on his bow, he shoots them into the bodies of innocent women. Thus, those women become invalids. It would be better if he took my life without hesitation, but he does not do so. He simply gives me pain. Yanyana je dukkha mane anyathai nahi jane satya e shastrada vichare anya jana ka liki na janaya prana saki jate kai dharya dharibhare. In the scriptures it is said that one person can never know the unhappiness in the mind of another. Therefore, what can I say of my dear friends Lalita and the others? Nor can they understand the unhappiness within me. They simply try to console me repeatedly, saying, "Dear friend, be patient." Krishna kripa paravara kabu karibena angikara sakitora e vyata vachan jivara jivan chanchala jena padma pratra jala tatadina jive konajan. I say, my dear friends, you are asking me to be patient, saying that Krishna is an ocean of mercy and that sometime in the future he will accept me. However, I must say, this will not console me. A living entity's life is very flickering. It's like water on the leaf of a lotus flower. Who will live long enough to expect Krishna's mercy? Shatavatsara paryanta jivara jivana anta e vakya ka na vichare narira jovana dana jare Kṛṣṇa-karimana se jovana dina duichari. A human being does not live more than 100 years. You should also consider that the youthfulness of a woman, which is the only attraction for Krishna, remains for only a few days. Agni jachani jadhana dhamma dekaya abhirama patangera akashya mare Krishna icheni jaguna dekaya harimana pache dukkha samujete dare. If you say that Krishna is an ocean of transcendental qualities and therefore must be merciful someday, I can only say he's like a fire which attracts moths by its dazzling brightness and kills them. Such are the qualities of Krishna. By showing us his transcendental qualities, he attracts our minds, and then later, by separating from us, he drowns us in an ocean of unhappiness. Etika vilapa kari vishada shri gaura hari ugadiya dukara kapata bhavara taranga vali nana rupe manachali ara eka shloka kailavata. In this way, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahāprabhu lamented in a great ocean of sadness, and thus he opened the doors of his unhappiness. Forced by the waves of ecstasy, his mind wandered over transcendental mellows, and he recited another verse as follows. Shri Krishna Rupadi Nishevanam Vina Vyatani Me Hanyaki Lenjianyalam Pashana Shushkandhana Bharakanyaho Bibhami Vatani Katam Hata Chapa. My dear friends, unless I serve the transcendental form qualities and pastimes of Sri Krishna, all my days and all my senses will become entirely useless. Now I am uselessly bearing the burden of my senses, which are like stone blocks and dried wood. I do not know how long I will be able to continue without shame. Vangsi ganamrita dhamma lavanyamrita janmasthana jana deke se chandavadan se nayana kiva kaja purukatara munde vaja se nayana rahi ki karana. Of what use are the eyes of one who does not see the face of Krishna, which resembles the moon and is the birthplace of all beauty and the reservoir of the nectarian songs of his flute? Oh, let a thunderbolt strike his head. Why does he keep such eyes? Sakhi shuna mora hatta vidibala mora vapuchitaman shakala indriyagan Krishna vinu shakala viva. My dear friends, please hear me. I have lost all providential strength. Without Krishna, my body, consciousness and mind, as well as all my senses, are useless. Krishnara madhurya vani amritera tarangini tara praveshanaye shravane kanakari chidrasama janiyase shravan tara janma haile akarane. Topics about Krishna are like waves of nectar. If such nectar does not enter one's ears, the ear is no better than the whole of a damaged conch shell. Such an ear is created for no purpose. Kṛṣṇara adaramrita Krishna guna charita Shuddha shara svada vinindan Tara svada jena jani Janmiyana maila kene Se rasana beka jiva sam. The nectar from the lips of Lord Krishna and his transcendental qualities and characteristics surpass the taste of the essence of all nectar, and there is no fault in tasting such nectar. If one does not taste it, he should die immediately after birth, and his tongue is to be considered no better than the tongue of a frog. Mrigamada nilotpala Milana jay parimala jay haritara garvaman Hena Krishna anga ganda Jara nai se sambandha Se nasha bhastrara saman. One's nostrils are no better than the bellows of a blacksmith if one has not smelled the fragrance of Krishna's body, which is like the aroma of musk combined with that of the bluish lotus flower. Indeed, such combinations are actually defeated by the aroma of Krishna's body. Krishnakara paratala koti chanja sushitala tara sparsha jena sparshamani tara sparshi nahi ja se yauk chanjakara se vapu lauha samajani. The palms of Krishna's hands and the soles of his feet are so cool and pleasant that they can be compared only to the light of millions of moons. One who has touched such hands and feet has indeed tasted the effects of touchstone. if one has not touched them, his life is spoiled and his body is like iron. Kari eta vilapana Prabhu Sachinandana Ughariya Hridayera Shoka Dhanya Niveda Vishade Hridayera Aspade Abasade Punarapi Pare Eka Shloka Hare Krishna. Lamenting in this way, Mahāprabhu opened the doors of grief within his heart, morose, humble and disappointed. He recited a verse again and again with a despondent heart. Jadaya todava madhuripu aso lochana patang tadasmakam chetu madana hata kenaritam avut puna yasmine shakshanam apidrisho etipadamim vidyashamas tasmin akila gatika ratna kachittaha. From that same play of Jagannath Vallabha Nataka of Ramananda Roy, spoken by Srimati Radharani. Mahāprabhu singing again and again, if by chance the transcendental form of Krishna comes before my path of vision, my heart, injured from being beaten, will be stolen away again by Cupid, happiness personified. Because I could not see the beautiful form of Krishna to my heart's content. When I again see his form, I shall decorate the phases of time with many jewels. Ye kali vasvapani dekinu vangsi vadane se kali aila duivari ananda aramadana harinila mora mana dekita na painu nechabari. Whenever I had the chance to see Lord Krishna's face and his flute, even in a dream, two enemies would appear before me. They were pleasure and Cupid, and since they took away my mind, I was not able to see the face of Krishna to the full satisfaction of my eyes. Punajadi konakshan karaya Kṛṣṇadāsa Tabise gati kshana pala diamalya chandana nana ratna abarana alankrita karimushakala. If by chance such a moment comes when I can once again see Krishna, then I shall worship those seconds, moments and hours with flower garlands and pulp of sandalwood, and decorate them with all kinds of jewels and ornaments. Shane bhai hailaman, age deki due jana, tada puche, ami na Caitanya, swapna prai dekinu, kiba ami pralapinu, tomara kichu shuniyacha dhanya. In an instant, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu regained external consciousness and saw two persons before him. Questioning them, he asked, "Am I conscious? What dreams have I been seeing? What craziness have I spoken? Have you heard some expressions of humility?" Shunamora pranera bandhava nahi Krishna premadana daridra mora jivana dehendriya vritta mora sabha. Mahaprabhu continued, "My dear friends, you are all my life and soul. Therefore I tell you that I possess no wealth of love for Krishna. Consequently, my life is poverty-stricken. My limbs and senses are useless. Punakai hai hai shuna svarupa ramarai E mora hridoya nischai, shune karaha vichara, haya naya kashara, etabali shloka ucharana. Hare Krishna. Again he addressed Swarup Damodar and Rai Ramananda, speaking despondently, alas, my friends, you can now know the certainty within my heart. And after knowing my heart, you should judge whether I am correct or not. You can speak of this properly. Mahāprabhu then began to chant another verse. Kai avarahiyam pemam nahi hoi manushaloi jai koi kashavirahe hontami ko jiai. Love of Godhead, devoid of cheating propensities, is not possible within this material world. If there is such love, there cannot be separation. For if there is separation, how can one live? Srila Prabhupada says this is a verse in common language called Prakrita. And the exact Sanskrit transformation is Caitanya-caritāmṛta nahi bhavati manusya-loke chari bhavati kshaya viraho virahe sakyapi kojivati. And then Mahāprabhu continues, Akaitava Kṛṣṇa prema jaina jambunada hema se prema niloka nahai jadi hai tada yoga nahaya taba viyoga vijoga haila kaya na jijai. Pure love for Krishna, just like the gold from the Jambu river, does not exist in human society. If it existed, there could not be separation. If separation were there, one could not live. Etakai sachi sutta shloka pariyad bhuta shunedun ekkamanohai apana hridoya kaja kaite vashya laja tabukai laja bija ka. Thus speaking, the son of Srimati Sachi-mata recited another wonderful verse, and Ramananda Rai and Swarup Damodar heard this verse with rapt attention. Mahāprabhu said, I feel shameful to disclose the activities of my heart. Nevertheless, I shall be done with all formalities and speak from the heart. Please hear. Na prema gandhasti darapi maharo kandami shaubhagya baram prakashitam vangsi vilasyana nalokanam vina vibharmi yat prana patangat gakanvrita. Mahāprabhu continued, my dear friends, I have not the slightest tinge of love of Godhead within my heart. When you see me crying in separation, I am just falsely exhibiting a demonstration of my good fortune. Indeed, not seeing the beautiful face of Kṛṣṇa playing his flute, I continue to live my life like an insect without purpose. Dure shuddha prema gandha kapata prema rabandha se mora nai Kṛṣṇa pai tabeje kari krandana sva saubhagya prakyapana kari iya janiya nishchay. Actually, my love for Kṛṣṇa is far, far away. Whatever I do is actually an exhibition of pseudo-love for Kṛṣṇa. When you see me cry, I am simply falsely demonstrating my great fortune. Please try to understand this beyond a doubt. Jata vangsi dvana sukha nadeki sachanda mukha jajapinaikya alambana nijadaya kari priti kevala kamera riti prana kitera karyadaran. Even though I do not see the moon-like face of Kṛṣṇa as he plays on his flute. And although there is no possibility of my meeting him, still I take care of my own body. That's the way of lust. In this way I maintain my fly-like life. I'm looking. Hare Krishna. Krishna prema shunimala jena sudha ganga jala. Se prema amritera sindhu. Nirmala se anurage nalukaya anyadage. Shukla vastre yacha mashi bindu. Love for Krishna is very pure, like the waters of the Ganga. That love is an ocean of nectar. That pure attachment to Krishna does not conceal any spot, which would appear like a spot of ink on white cloth. Shuddha prema shuka sindhu, paitara eka bindu, se bindu jagata dubai, kaivara joga jogyanai, tatapi baula kai, kailava keva patajaya. Unalloyed Krishna, unalloyed love of Krishna is like an ocean of happiness. If someone gets a drop of it, the whole world can drown in that drop. It is not befitting to express such love of Godhead. Yet a madman must speak. But even though he speaks, no one believes him. Okay, one more verse and then I'm trying to find a suitable place, but there is no suitable place where we've entered, really. Emata dine dina svarupa ramananda sani nija bhava karina vidita vaivisha jvala hai bitare anandamai Krishna premara adbhuta charita. In this way, Lord Chaitanya used to revel in ecstasy day after day and exhibit these ecstasies before Svarup and Ramananda Rai. Externally there appeared severe tribulation, as if he was suffering from poisonous effects, but internally he was experiencing bliss. This is characteristic of transcendental love of Krishna. Sri Caitanya-caritāmṛta ki jai. Srila Kṛṣṇadāsa Kavirāja Gosvāmī ki jai. Hare Krishna. So someone was asking recently, can we read this Jagannath, this play? And cautious answer in the from what we've heard from our masters is no, we don't generally go there. But we hear from these places in the Sri Caitanya-caritāmṛta, and we hear in the works of Srila Gurudev and Guru Maharaj, they are saying something and they are presenting something for us. So now we've come to these inconceivable pastimes where Mahāprabhu is tasting that inconceivable substance which is Krishna consciousness, which we are bowing down to from far away, and is described as beyond imagination, beyond rational thought or the activities of the intellect, and is heavy with chamatkar, heavy with wonder, and shines brightly, it shines brightly in the hearts of the devotees, shining with goodness, and is not what we think it is with our conceptions of spiritual life, happiness, and all those things. It is the complete whole where every facet of the heart's divine experience, divine emotion, divine sentiment is plundered and tasted and Hare Krishna. So we're just bowing our heads, and I was hoping we'd come to a place where Mahāprabhu goes and has a bath, or goes and has his breakfast, or something like that. But in this chapter, well, we were told in the chapter name by Srila Prabhupada what this chapter's about. So we'll finish here, and then we'll continue tomorrow, and we'll go through this chapter with this book on our heads and hear these amazing things, because this is the wealth of Sri Caitanya-caritāmṛta. It's the wealth of Mahāprabhu. It's the wealth of Rupa Gosvāmī. It's the wealth of Srila Prabhupada and Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Govinda Maharaj. So we are herein by their grace.
Hare Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha.
Hare Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha. Gopal Govinda Ram Shimari Sudham. Giridhari Gopinath Madhya Moha. Sri Caitanya-caritāmṛta Sri Advaita Sangha. Kavirāja Shiva Sari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Rupa Sanatan Bhakta Raguna. Krishna
Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Sundar Giridhar Ki Jai. Jai Shri Gurudev Ki Jai.
Jai.
Guru Maharaj Ki Jai. Shri Rupanuga Guru Bhaga Ki Jai.
Jai.
Namacharya Sri Thakur
Ki
Ki
Jai.
Jai. Shri Saraswati Acharya Vrinda Ki
Jai.
Jai. Radhakoti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki
Jai.
Jai. Jai Shri Chaitanya Saraswati Mount London Ki
Jai.
Shri Harinam Sankirtan.
Jai.
Jai. Jai. Go